Hello and good evening to you, Divine Feminine. Now, you see the cards on the table, guys. It's because I got this reading halfway through and then my throat just jammed. So, I've decided that I'll continue with this reading because this energy is something that you have to know about, right? And it's a very interesting set of energies I've got for you here at this point in time. This reading for you, Divine Feminine, will be from the 10th of October until the next 7 to 10 days. Okay. Now, interestingly enough, I mean, this is what I can tell you is as I laid the cards on the table, I get his energies intertwining with you. And it's very funny because it's your reading, but I see the divine masculine here, right in the beginning of this reading. And I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll give you the explanation why this is happening. So, this energy is sitting in your life, the divine masculine. He is very much present in your life. Okay, let me tell you that. You might be very angry with him. You might not want to talk to him. You might be very sour over the past situations. Whatever that story could be, guys, but this energy is very much in your life. Okay. And this energy is coming along with the recognition. Now, this recognition card is a shadow side where he knows you and you know him. And both you guys are connecting each other in your shadow energy. That's what is happening now. Now, when I say this, it means that you know him thoroughly, he knows you thoroughly by now. Okay. He knows that he cannot do without you. You know that you cannot do without him anymore. Whatever you guys might be saying on the surface, whatever y'all are doing, not talking, not interacting, not saying anything, whatever that story could be. But at the end of the day, both you guys are aware of each other. He is aware that he cannot do without you. You are aware that he has now recognized who you are as well. Okay, now I'll proceed as we move into the reading. Now, I asked for clarification on the divine masculine, right? And I get the Six of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. Okay. So this is kind of an energy here, guys, is what I'm getting, is that he wants to say what is there in his heart. He wants to offer you something because of the past life situation. He is aware that he hasn't done the right thing. There has been a lot of goof ups in his own understanding that he had acted with different set of ideas, notions earlier, right? He has made a lot of mistakes. He should have taken the call. He should have done the right thing, but he could not. He could not, even though he knew that this past life situation is something that he is not being able to avoid at all. He knows that. It is there, right? But it also could be that he might come forward and apologize to you and tell you the truth for some of them about the inner child issue. That also could be a part of the story. But all in all, he's getting ready for some kind of a situation here, right? It's going to be a challenge to defend himself. It's going to be a challenge for him to stand up and tell you what he has in his heart for you, right? Excuse me. It will be a challenge to let you know the exact story. It will also be a challenge for him to meet your criticisms that you might have as he comes forward towards you with some kind of an offer. an offer of apology, an offer of gratitude. It can be anything for anybody, right? But there is a challenge. It's not going to be a cakewalk. He knows that. Excuse me. He knows that it's not going to be a cakewalk. That he comes in, tells you, hello, hi, let's get together, let's move on together, let's be friends again, let's party again, let's do this, let's do that. And it's not going to be that you're going to say, oh, yes, I've been waiting for this telephone call. Yeah, let's meet up, let's go for a date, let's do this. No, it's not going to be that easy for him. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenge because there could be a lot of things that will come up in the forefront, right? And he will have to prepare for that. He will have to prepare to meet that challenge. So he knows that. And intuitively, you know that too, Divine Feminine. Because somewhere you know that he wants you back. Excuse me. He knows that he wants you, you know that he wants you back, and you're ready for that too. You're ready for that too, Divine Feminine. You want him back too. Okay? Now, over here, with this card, I get the Hermit, the Ten of Cups, and the Emperor. Okay? So, it's again clearly talking about the Divine Masculine. Now, he knows that if he just comes to you just like that, without being the Divine Masculine in the right shape and form, it'll be difficult for you to accept him back. So he wants to come to you as a person who has control, who has the power, who has the control to make this commitment happen, right? Because see, one thing he knows, guys, that if he gives you a commitment this time around, he will have to stand with that. He cannot default from that commitment again that he has already done previously before. So this time, whatever commitment he is coming up with, whatever offer that he is presenting to you or will be presenting to you, it's going to be a challenge for him, for sure, to say what he has in his self. But at the end of the day, he also knows that he has to give you the commitment. But for him to give you that commitment, he will have to do the right things. He will have to work in the right way, right? And that is where he is kind of reorganizing himself, doing a lot of soul searching over this story of what he can give you, how he can make things happen, or how it is that he can come to you, in what shape and form. Because excuse me, because you have seen him, you know that he is the Divine Masculine for you. So he has to present himself in that shape and form. If he presents himself to you in any other shape and form, you will not be able to accept that, right? So he knows that. Because you guys are meant to be with each other. There are no two ways about it. He recognizes that, you recognize that. Whatever other situations in the environment may be, external situations may be, but both you guys know that none of you can do without each other. Y'all are the twins, right? So this time around, he has to be very clear about his commitment to you. He has to do the right thing. And that is where he's taking his time to rework on his own self too. Because it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge for him to present himself in the way that he wants to present himself to you. So that you don't feel that, he's lacking in his personality, he's lacking in his power, he's lacking in anything. He wants to come to you as a very stable emperor, as a person who has it all under his wings, can take care of you, can take care of your commitment, right? Can give you, can stick by with the commitment of love, can bring you back your happiness. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of reorganizing or reorganization, right? For somebody like him who has gone through a tough period of learning as well. So it is a matter of him understanding how to rework with his own energy, how to be in his own power. What are the things that he needs to do in order to bring back his own capability as the emperor and take charge of the situation of his commitment with you? Okay. Now, the next card out here, guys, is contemplation, right? And this is what you know he's thinking about. Intuitively, he is working on this, and you're aware of this too, Divine Feminine, that he is thinking about this situation. You may not know exactly what he's thinking about, but you do know that he's going through a lot of thinking process, right? And what he's thinking about here is the Knight of Wands and the High Priestess, right? So the thing that he knows about you, or he is very clear about you, is that you are in that energy of vibrating very high. Your vibrations are very high. You have risen from wherever you have been, Divine Feminine, to becoming the Divine Feminine. But you are not talking about it. You are doing your work very silently. Your vibrations are very high. You're not gelling, or you're not in touch with people who are below your vibrational energy, right? So he knows that he has to be meeting you in the same energy, because if he comes to you quickly, right, he comes to you and he gets stuck again, right? He can be very quick as the Knight of Wands. Again, if he comes to you in the player's energy by any chance, you're going to stop him because your vibration is very high. You're not going to accept him back in that player's energy. When he comes in and he sticks around and leaves you, right? That's not going to work for him. And that's not going to work for you, because that is not his wish fulfillment, nor is this your wish fulfillment anymore. With the Nine of Cups, right? So the thing with him now is that if he comes to you in the Knight of Wands energy, he cannot be impatient. He has to be bold and courageous, but he cannot be impatient. That's one. Excuse me. He cannot come to you in the player's energy anymore. Because the moment you sense that energy from him, if he comes with any other intention other than the divine masculine's energy, and you sense anything wrong in his energy, you're going to stop, because you are vibrating very high. Let me tell you that, right? And you know, and this is where he is kind of in awe of you. In awe of you. Because thing about him now is that he knows that your wish fulfillment has changed. You don't want him in the Knight of Wands anymore. You want a solid person. You want somebody you can rely on. You want somebody in the Emperor energy. You want somebody in the Divine Masculine's energy. Not somebody in the Knight of Wands energy who will come, be very impatient. No, that's not going to give you your wish fulfillment. You don't want that. You have left that behind. You have risen from that, which gave you pleasure before, is not going to bring you pleasure anymore. He knows that. So this time around, he is a little bit apprehensive about your situation here, because he has to match you. So in order to match you, In order to match your high vibration and energy, he has to come to you in the right shape and form. Excuse me. He has to come to you in the right shape and form, divine feminine. Or else for him, it's not going to work. He has to be bold and courageous, yes. But anything other than being bold and courageous, you're not going to accept, because that is not going to be something that will bring you your happiness or your wish fulfillment. You want the right person in your life now, divine feminine. And this is where he is contemplating how he can come to you in the right shape and form, right? Because of this twin flame. He knows this is the twin flame. He knows you guys are twins. So he can sense your desire. He can sense you as you can sense him. Telepathically, y'all are always in connection with one another. Physical distance, physical proximity can be there, but telepathically, you guys are connecting with one another's vibrations. So he can feel your vibration, even if you guys are at a 7,000 kilometers distance, for example, right? Similarly, you can sense his vibration too. So therefore, it's working together. It's this twin flame coming together, right? And with this twin flame card, guys, you get the Hangman, the Three of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune, right? This is where he is suspended everything else at this point. He is waiting for this to happen. He's waiting to talk to you. Because he knows that if he just comes to you, or if he gives you any kind of inclination that he is going to return back in the same shape and form before, you will disown that pleasure. You don't want that pleasure of that Knight of Wands anymore. You had a taste of that man before in that energy. So this time around, he knows that if he comes back to you, he will have to have a lot of wisdom about your understanding. He has to have a lot of patience with his words, with his communication, right? And this is where he is waiting. He is in waiting because of the Wheel of Fortune, that he knows the time will turn. This time will turn for you guys to come together. He is waiting for that divine timing. There is a change in the timing. He knows that. He knows, he's very much aware of that. And so are you. It's only a matter of the divine timing for the sacred union to happen, right? So this is where he is being very patient with his own understanding that he has to wait. He's attracting, it's like, he knows this is a law of attraction. He knows the ships are sailing into his harbor. He knows the time is coming, right? But the ship hasn't yet reached the coast. So he will have to wait for that ship to reach the coast where, he is left behind the crossroad, and he's holding that one single wand, which is the Ace of Wands, in his hand to restart the whole situation with you, which is a new beginning in the process, in the pipeline for this journey of the twins, right? But it's like, he doesn't want to upset you right now. So he's kind of, the thing is that he knows that you are aware of the way that he came forward before, right? Which is where your wish desired was completely lost, because he was not able to give you back anything that you rightfully deserved or you wanted from this connection. He knows that. So this is where he is patiently waiting for the thing to happen, because he doesn't want to upset you. Because the moment, like I said, the moment you can sense his return, If you can sense the return in the right way, then it's okay. But if you sense the return in the wrong way, you are done with this. You're done. Your wish fulfillment does not happen here. So, therefore, this time around, he is being very careful and he's being very patient with this situation. He's walking through this situation. He's trying to understand when the time will come. He's holding on to his patience. He's holding on to a lot of things he has to tell you because he has learned a lot of things. He's grown. He is leaving the Two of Wands behind him. He's leaving the crossroad. He's waiting for the new start, the new beginning. And the new beginning is in the way. He knows that. But it is only the time. It's only the time which will start this whole journey for you and him once again, guys. Okay? And then the next card we have is the return. This is the shadow side. This is where he wants to come back to you. He knows he has to come back to you. Very, very clear. He knows that he has to come back to you. There is nowhere else he can go. And he wants to come back. Whether you can feel that or not in reality, but you can definitely sense that intuitively. With all the vibrations, with everything that you are probably getting around this portion in time, guys, right? Now, with the return, you get the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords. So there is a lot of logical part of the mental energy that is working in this return part of the story, right? The return is difficult right now. He feels it's difficult. You feel it's difficult too. Reason is the third party. Reason is the 5 of Swords. Because of this, this intuitively, it's not going to be an easy return for either him or, accepting him back in the rightful way for you. So that is where this time around he has to be very careful as he returns back to you. And that is where he is holding on. He's trying to figure out what it is that he can now do to make you happy. He cannot upset you anymore. So if he comes to you as the Knight of Wands and be impatient and come and go in and out, that's done. You're done with that energy because you are vibrating very high. You are not going to take somebody who comes in your life and leaves you high and dry. You're done with that energy. You have gone through that learning lesson. So this return is going to be very difficult for him. And you know that it's not going to be easy for you either. Reason is because of the 5 of Swords, right? There has been a lot of things that has happened in here. It's a learning lesson for him, for you, both. The way things have happened, a hollow victory. Nobody has won. Nobody has won. You haven't won. He hasn't won either. So nobody has a victory here with the 5 of Swords. But it's been a learning lesson, right? And that is the reason, to move from that difficult area, it's becoming harder because of the 3 of Swords, right? Because of this third party, which has been a learning lesson of this return, to clear this learning lesson and to have this return, it's becoming very difficult for this man because he knows that he has done a lot of things wrong. Lot of things wrong. He couldn't leave the third party baggage behind. And that has been not only a learning lesson, but it's been a hollow victory in him and for him. And you know that too. That today he's regretting every moment of his past action. Intuitively, guys, Divine Feminine, you know that. You might say you don't know, maybe, but intuitively, you know this story. Then why is not being able to just come back and tell you what he has to tell you? It's because of his past action, which is still there in this relationship. It's not been done with, right? And he has learned his lesson. His reading clearly shows that his learning lessons are getting over. And because his learning lessons are getting over, he's wanting to come back, but he's finding it difficult right now because of this. So there is a lot of things he knows he will have to face a criticism for, and it won't be like a cakewalk that he comes and tells you sorry, and and you're not going to say anything to him. It's not going to happen that way. You have a lot to tell him too, right? And so that's going to be a challenge for him as well. It's going to be a challenge for him as well because, he has to face the consequence of his past action here. And that is the reason he's trying to keep his patience and wait for the right timing. Wait for the right timing because he knows that if he moves in the wrong way right now, and if he does anything wrong, this relationship again will collapse. And this time for good. This time for good. Right? So his return is becoming difficult. It's only because of the past situation. But here it is, guys. This time around, his return will be because he wants it, the free will. So it is a matter of you accepting that in yourself, giving yourself the free will to take him back, and him giving himself the free will to return back to you. It's going to be on a free will turn, not a gun over the shoulder, not a gun over the head. It's because he wants to come back to you, and it's also because you want him to come back to you. Both you guys need that free will here to accept each other, to forgive each other, to accept back each other in the right way, to forgive the past action and the mistakes that he has made towards you and the twin flame connection. So it's a matter of free will. It's not going to be easy for either one of you. It's not going to be easy, guys, because it's a matter of you accepting his difficulties, his explanation. It's a matter of him accepting his own difficulty and letting you know the truth. So it's a free will, right? Whether you want him or not. And it's his free will to return back to you from whatever the difficult situation that has happened between the two of you in the past. Now with the free will, guys, you get the Page of Swords, the Judgment, and the Five of Cups. Okay? He knows there has been a delay. You know there has been a lot of delay, lot of disappointment, lot of grief, lot of regrets. But it's time to take that call. It's time to take that call and give each other that free will to make the right decision now, to make the right judgment call, right? Yes, there has been difficulty. Yes, there has been a lot of sorrow. Yes, there has been a lot of regret over this delay, the past situation that has occurred in here. But now it is the time to let that go and take the right call in here for both you guys, not just for him, it's also for you, Divine Feminine. It's very important, how you can forgive each other, forget the past, give each other that space to come together, to compromise on that, to balance back that situation, to bring back that love in the story, and to harmonize this relationship once again. It's time. This delay has happened. There has been a lot of delay over this free will. He hadn't been able to give this free will. You haven't been able to accept him back and give your free will and say that, yes, it's okay, I forgive you. So this is coming to a point, guys. This journey is coming to a point of both of you accepting your story. It's not going to be easy. I've said that before. It's not going to be a cakewalk because you have a lot to say. He has probably have a lot to hear from you, right? So it's not going to be a cakewalk for either one of you. But at the end of the day, this delay has already happened, and it's time to make the right judgment call, giving each other that capacity to have their free will take action right now, or get into action right now. Okay, the bottom of the deck, why all this is happening is because it's all happening in the fifth dimension, right? And when things join together in the fifth dimension, that's when it comes down to the 3D. So it's coming down into the 3D. It's all happening in the 5D now. It's all happening with the King, Queen of Wands. You are very much connected with him in the 5D, Divine Feminine. And it's with you that he's working in the 5D. Everything is moving together for both of you in the 5D. You see this? It's right in front of you guys. It's unbelievable. The dark night of the soul and the world. This is what he is doing. The shadow side. He is closing the last chapter of his life. He's closing the last chapter of his life. Right? He's walking through the night. He's doing, that's why he's waiting for that time to come, because slowly, as you're moving through this period in time, he's closing the last chapter of his life, and so are you. Both of you guys will simultaneously be doing the same thing now. Temperance or patience with the Nine of Wands, but you still have to have some amount of patience and hold on to your strength. Hold on to your strength. A lot of things are moving in your direction, in your favor, Divine Feminine, but you have to have that patience to still hold on to your strength. It's, both of you guys are depleted. Both of y'all. Y'all are depleted of your strength, but it's the last one, the last fight for you. So hold on to your strength, new direction, and justice. Look here. Because new things are coming up. New justice is in the way for you to take a new direction, because here it is, forgiveness and the devil. Look. Because this restriction is being forgiven. It's being forgiven. This restriction is getting out of your life. This devil energy is moving out, because both of you guys will learn to forgive each other for your own mistakes that has happened. That has happened here. Okay. So this energy is coming up all in the 5D, guys. It's all coming up in the 5D. It's a beautiful energy. Work with it, Divine Feminine. It's not going to be easy. Both of you guys are doing exactly the same thing. You all are waiting for the right time, right? Because justice is coming back into your lives once again. You will find justice with him. He will find justice with you. Both of you guys will be able to balance yourself and move towards a new direction. It will be a very logical balance. It will be a very logical balance of your energies here that will allow you both to move towards a new direction in your life. Okay, so things are all happening under covers. You can both feel it, but at the same time, these energies are present in your reading, Divine Feminine. So look into it very carefully. Take the guidance. Don't be stubborn. And work with these energies in the rightful way. I'll see you once again. Till then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Khuda Hafiz. Namaste.